Hello, Sandy. I think we're unmute. I got you unmuted. Here
Thank
we
you.
are. We made it in. We made it in the door with this week's travel news at 3 week 3D. What are we? Who are we? 3D Travel
Where
Cast.
are we?
Okay, so I am Carol Beth Scott. I'm the owner of 3D Travel, and I am busy right now. I like everyone, probably everyone who's watching. My house is baking chaos, prep chaos. Today we're making the cornbread for it to dry out for the dressing. We're in the South, so it's cornbread dressing in the South. Do y'all find that to be true? Cornbread or bread dressing?
We do both because I've got Northern
Ooh.
family and Southern family,
Mhm.
so we've got two
You
types
have to
of
do both.
dressings.
So have y'all ever done? So my father still wants to turn on me every year because I refuse to put oysters in the dressing. Do y'all do oyster dressing?
Not every time, and especially not
No.
this year, but I love me some oyster dressing.
There's
Yum.
there's an odor to it, Sandy. I'm not gonna lie. I just
Oh, I
can't.
know, but it's good. Doesn't
That's
matter.
why
It's
I'm
still
like,
good.
it's a commitment. Okay. Yeah. And pumpkin pie and apple pie and all that good stuff. So Carol Beska, I'll pass it to the next mic. What are you baking in that house over there, Sandy?
There's a flurry of activity because we're doing our Thanksgiving today with
Oh,
my dad's family. I am not at home in Louisiana right now. I'm in the heart of Appalachia. It is Appalachia, not Appalachian or anything like that.
it's
Um,
Appalachia?
it is. It's Latch.
Oh,
Appalachian,
I did not know that.
Appalachia. hmm I know most people
Okay.
don't if you're not from this area, but
No.
that's what it is. But so we got the cornbread stuffing, we got the bread dressing. I am like the dessert person, so I do my rum cakes and my apple pie, my pecan
Mhm.
pie. I've got some bread pudding with two different types of sauces. We've got all kinds of
Fun.
stuff going on.
Yes.
Yep.
Sounds
Oh,
yummy.
and I don't think I mentioned that I'm Sandy Barnes. I think I
You're
missed that
Sandy
part.
Barnett. Usually from Louisiana.
Look, so Missy says thank you. And why did she? Because she's also from Appalachia and she knows how it's
Mhm.
pronounced.
Nice.
Yep.
I had no clue. I learned something already.
There you go.
Okay. What are you going to teach us, Wendy? And what are you making?
Well, today we are putting all the casseroles together. So doing the corn casserole, the green bean casserole. We're kind of
Mhm.
keeping it simple. It's just the five of us this year, but it's all of my kids home. So very, very excited
Huge.
about that.
Very
Awesome.
special.
So we're doing all of that good stuff today, and we actually have to go out and get a fryer. My husband usually fries a turkey, and I
Oh.
don't know what happened to the fryer in the move.
Hmm.
So now we have to go find a fryer.
At least you found out today
Yeah.
and not tomorrow.
Yes, that is true.
There was a big brouhaha here about that there was not enough fryers to go around. So they didn't stock them some places, but that's all the way in Texas. So you're in Florida.
Hmm.
I have surely they overstock the fryers in Florida. I feel like that they need to make that level of commitment. I don't know.
Well, if we don't find a fryer, I guess we will just be roasting it, and that will interfere with my baking tomorrow.
Like
So
as much.
there's
Yeah.
that.
It is nice to get it out of the oven for sure.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
well, we're gonna pop right into the Black Friday fraud alert. So ever since last week, I have been paying attention to Black Friday specials for travel. We hugely believe in experiences, not things, in our family. And I think a lot of our 3D travel family feels the same way. I'd much rather give somebody a memory that we share than I would want to give them something that's going to break.
Right.
Or I mean, I remember half the time what I got for Christmas, unless it had special meaning. So I've been looking at those Black Friday deals for you guys, for us, and one of the things that came up that was very interesting is that have been official warnings put out about Black Friday travel deal scams, which I guess should be no surprise to us. People are going to capitalize on. There's pent up need. They actually call it revenge travel, is a big term in the travel industry right now, right? There's revenge travel, which is like I'm gonna get out and do things. Like I thought of Pink's recent song. I'm never gonna not dance again. It's like I feel like that's what everybody's like. I'm done. I'm gonna live my life
Right.
now, and that includes travel. But you have to still be scared, be wary, not scary, be wary. Yeah. So if it looks too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
And we're always talking about the need for a travel advisor, but it's like we're picky. You think of how picky you are for yourself, and then imagine if you were shopping for someone else that you cared about, and your reputation hinged on that recommendation, and then
Right.
it'll help you understand why you should use a travel professional. But they're out there. They're everywhere. They're in my inbox. I don't know about you guys.
All over the place. All over the
Yeah.
place. You really have
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
read between the lines and weed
Mhm.
out
Yeah,
a lot of those
for
scams, but
sure.
some of them look so valid and
Mhm.
so enticing that how do
Yeah.
you choose between the ones that are real and aren't? So it's hard.
Well, and I think back to, so there's travel clubs, which sound like a great thing. It sounds like something you would want. And one of the most seasoned, reputable travel professionals in our agency, the one with the most years of experience, confessed to me that she fell prey to one of those travel club scams
Right.
one time. So when you think of, and this was when she wasn't a travel professional, so she wasn't privy to all the things that we are.
Mhm.
But if they can win her over after so many years of being a professional, then it means that we all have to be wary. It's just,
Right.
Mhm.
it's a scary world out there. Okay, we'll
Agreed.
stop talking about the scary things. We'll talk about some real deals that are out there, starting with,
Emerald Cruises.
yeah.
So this is not one of those big 5 or so cruise lines, but
Mhm.
it's great because they sail the entire world. And I
Yes,
found out
they do.
actually, I didn't even realize until I read their Black Friday deal that they have a new luxury yacht line as well. So their regular cruises, anything over 8 days in Southeast Asia and Europe, all through 2023, you can save $5,000 per couple. That's a lot.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
obviously you're booking on Black Friday, but they also have some Christmas market sailings that would
Oh.
be included that are anywhere between 5 and 15 days. But I thought this is another big chunk of change savings where the luxury ocean yacht cruises they have, because most of their stuff is river cruises. But
Right.
the ocean yacht cruises, you can save $6,800 per couple in the Mediterranean, in the Caribbean, in the Red
Crazy.
Sea. Yes. Yes, very cool. They have I was looking at their 11-day. They have an 11-day. It's called the Charming Mediterranean. It goes from
Nice.
Rome and Lisbon, and you stop in Corsica and Spain. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep going because
It's incredible.
I really want to try that one. And how cool it would be on a
Mhm.
smaller ship. It's more intimate. You're getting to know these people that you're on the cruise
Right.
a little bit with. It's really
Mhm.
cool. But that is a huge savings
It
and
is.
Yes.
very cool. It's a line I want to try.
I feel like it's one of those bucket list trips that you
Mhm.
wait and wish for your whole life, but then to save that money on top of it, that's amazing. So I want to go.
I do too. Let's do this.
Mhm.
Like, we have to book this week though. So,
True.
get on that, people.
Nope.
We'll do it. Okay. And here's another real deal.
Okay, so European Waterways is offering a Black Friday special of 25% off of charters. Now, charter means you get the whole boat. And this particular boat only holds 8 passengers.
It's
So,
amazing.
that's pretty cool. Get your whole family, charter a
Mhm.
boat. Okay.
Yes.
So you have to book this deal, and I'm gonna get to the numbers in a minute, but you have to
Yeah.
book this deal between Friday, November 25th and December 2nd. So it's a short window of
Oh.
time
Mhm.
that you need to
Yeah.
book this deal. And remember, it's 25% off. So
Wendy, your face. I'm
I'm
sorry.
I'm ready for these numbers.
25%
Okay.
off of a lot of money. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it
Uh-huh.
coming.
What is
Yeah.
the savings here?
Okay, so for the April 2nd, it's only for two sailings. Okay, so there's April 2nd on one of the ships, and for the low price of $50,250, which is a savings. This is a savings, guys, of $16,750. Okay, so you are saving a lot of money.
Huge savings.
That
Okay,
is a
so
lot of money.
if this
Mhm.
is you, this is great. Okay, you want to take
This is
advantage
funny.
of this.
This reminds me, my dad says all the time when my mom goes shopping sales and she comes home and Mary Pearl, you're going to save us right into the poorhouse, he says, because, just
Yeah.
because it's on sale, Yeah.
Mhm.
But
That's
you
funny.
have to compare. So I keep thinking, because we do quote and we sell some beautiful suites
Mhm.
on ocean cruise ships for 20, 30, $40,000 for a short cruise. That's, I mean, that
Right.
doesn't compare in quality for your entire family on a yacht sailing.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Your
that's,
own yacht.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And if you think about it, some of those you're talking about aren't the entire family. You're split up between a couple of
Mhm.
staterooms or something like that, because some of
Yeah.
these suites can hold a lot on the larger cruise ships, but
Mhm.
some of them don't. So you still get the luxury, but you're across
Yeah.
2 staterooms. So 20 times 2
Right.
is 40,000,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but you're one of a
Yeah, I
bunch of
mean,
people. So
it's
Mhm.
definitely going to be an amazing experience. I'm going to read a little bit about what this particular one is.
Then we might have to
So,
buy it. Okay, go
yeah,
ahead.
that's right. We'll all
Mhm.
just pitch in.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can afford that, even split 8 ways.
Yeah.
So you get to enjoy world-class cuisine of
Mhm.
France, the northern
Nice.
Burgundy area, explore UNESCO's World Heritage Sites,
Mhm.
um, and architectural gems such as the Chateau de Ancey-la-France. And it's got the
I gotta say, you
largest
did good
collection
with
of
that, Wendy.
Renaissance murals.
Mhm.
There's a tour of the family-owned Champagne house, Maison
Nice.
Tesnay.
Mhm.
I don't know how to say the rest of
Beautiful.
that. Of course, you're going through the wine region because you're in Burgundy, right?
Yeah.
Um, so, I mean, you get all these really fancy
Right.
things on
So
here.
look, if you're doing one of these other suites on a other, some other cruise line,
Mhm.
sometimes they don't include the tours. No, river cruises tend to, but ocean
Mhm.
Yeah.
cruises do not. So when you're comparing apples to apples, is it really all
Mhm.
that much more?
Well, I
Yeah.
think I don't even know if it is more because with everything I think it's a comparable spend. I think it actually is a special. I mean, it's hard for us, right? Because this is not.
Hmm.
Sometimes, as a travel professional, we're selling things that we couldn't fathom spending that much money. But I always say it's just a percentage.
Hmm.
So on a firefighter's salary, this is not going to be something we easily do. But if he had chosen to be a surgeon, then it would be a percentage of our income. But I think
Yep.
as far as a good spend, apples to apples, this is actually a really good spend,
Agreed.
especially
yeah.
for a private location.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, it keeps going like hunt for truffles, wine tasting,
Oh,
um,
how cool.
go
Yeah.
into the making of vinegar,
This is
Oh,
very
the
much a
historical site.
foodie. This is very
Yeah.
much a foodie
yeah.
trip.
I mean,
If
it
you are
definitely
foodies.
is an amazing
Yeah.
experience without a doubt.
Hmm.
Without a doubt, it's
Foodies or
gonna be
Really fun.
vinophiles.
yeah.
So if you need someone to go as your tour guide, I think that absolutely we have some people. Wendy, you'd really be you'd be good at that too. Just come
I
along.
have to say I don't drink wine, so if you're a vinophile and you bring me, you could have my wine too.
Yeah.
Way
So,
to pitch yourself. That
That's
goes.
right?
how I sell myself that way too, Sandy,
Yeah.
because I don't drink at all. So
Mhm.
I'm always going to be the DD. So hey,
Mhm. That's true.
and
Yeah.
you can always have my portion of whatever. If it's rum tasting, wine tasting,
Mhm.
beer tasting, you can have my portion. So there you go.
So
Of
funny.
course, you made that an acronym. There is nothing that Wendy does not turn into an acronym. Of course,
The
I'm going to be
DD.
your DD. Your DD. Of
Mhm.
course. I love that. Literally everything is an acronym. Oh my goodness.
Wendy speaks in acronyms.
Greatness. She does. Okay, so we're going to hop into one of the things that we do sell a lot of,
Mhm.
which is sandals and beaches, and that has been growing a lot inside of our agency as we have
Mhm.
fallen in love with it. If you have not ever thought of sandals and beaches, and you are one of our hardcore Disney fans, it translates well. So
Mhm.
it is the thing that we find a level of satisfaction. I would used to say comparable, but now often exceeds for Walt
Oh,
Disney
yeah.
World, probably more comparable for Disneyland and Disney Cruise Line. So we were able to, I didn't realize it until we were looking at it this morning, but there are actually some special offers. Hi, Michelle. Michelle popped in. So we actually have some special offers that came up Black Friday sales for different, and it looks like I didn't scroll through everything, but it looks like it's for every resort. It is. Some of them have expanded travel dates. So the Black Friday sale includes if you stay 5+ nights, a free catamaran cruise for 2. If you stay 7+ nights, it's the catamaran cruise plus $150 spa credit. So you have to book this by
Ooh.
November 29th. So we want to make sure to get you in there. And then there are travel windows. So July 30th through October 3rd of 2023. Then there's a August 1st through October 2nd and July 29th through October 2nd. But some of them have expanded travel dates. Ochi, Emerald Bay, Royal Barbados, and Barbados do. And some of them have, it looks like almost all of them have blackout dates, December 27th through 31st. Nobody's surprised by that, right? Christmas week is just crazy. And then there's lots of little caveats and stuff like that to make sure, and we got to take care of you in that way. But when we were looking at it before, I don't know, is Kohl's across the country? Does everyone have a Kohl's?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
I've shopped at
think
Kohl's
so.
in California. We have them all over here. Yeah.
Yes, it's like, so when you go in Kohl's, like I would be shocked if I spent full price on something in Kohl's. It doesn't really
Right.
happen very often. And a lot of times, and I, this is job security for some of us in the travel industry that we wade through so many things. It's very a comparable feeling. And I in no way mean to demean the sandals product because their value is very high, but it is really rare for us not to find some sort of a special offer to apply
Oh, yeah.
to Sandals Beach. I don't know if it's ever happened in the history of the company that we don't have
You
something
don't
to
pay
apply.
rack rate. I've never
Right.
booked rack rate. I've
Mhm.
never seen anybody book rack rate. Rack
Yes.
rate is regular pricing.
But like I
yeah.
know I'm scrolling through looking at all the offers available. Some of them have 8 offers that we can compare for you, or sometimes we can even stack them. And then some of them just have 6. Some of them have 7. So I say that to say that, we all center everything around Black Friday. It feels like an emergency. And yes, they're going to push because so much travel is booked during Thanksgiving weekend. We're going to push you and the vendors are going to push us to push you. But the reality is that if you listen to this 3 weeks from now, you have not missed the boat. It is
Mhm.
like walking into Kohl's, except you don't have to
It
do the
really is.
shopping. You have the personal shopper of a travel advisor because it's so much is on the table. So
No,
but
the
I'm
free cruise, and the spa
catamaran.
credit, well, those
those will go away.
will go away. But if you have a group or something like that, we have ways to get those back even
true.
after it
Yes.
expires.
Yeah.
So your travel advisor
Sometimes
can definitely help with that.
Yes. And just for our agency, which is really nice.
Right.
That's- Connections are good, right? Connections are
Mhm.
good. So yes, reach out to us if you want to do that. Okay. And now we've been waiting for this.
News.
It's the news. And it is the only news that has dominated my week, I must say, as far as travel
True.
goes.
I have to say our little ticker down there, Big Bob. That's just making me laugh.
Big Bob. Yeah. It makes me think of
Sorry.
burgers. Big Bob burgers.
So,
Big Bob
so
Iger.
Chapek is out. We're obviously talking about Disney. We're talking about Walt Disney Travel Company.
Mhm.
CEO is back to Bob Iger.
Yeah.
And we all have. I gotta say, I'm really happy Chapek is out. Pretty excited.
Yeah.
But what do y'all think about Iger?
I was very curious to hear it. Wendy's had strong feelings about a lot of this, so I am very curious about what Wendy thinks.
Well, I have to say I was really shocked.
Yeah.
Shocked on a couple of fronts because I thought, just shocked first of all because they had just extended Chapek's contract
Right.
not long ago.
Yes.
And given him a vote of confidence.
Mhm.
So it was just kind of shocking that they let him go.
There was no
And-
lead up. Like I felt
Yeah.
like there was
No.
no lead up.
No. And then you had Bob Iger announced. And I'm like, okay, I have a whole bunch of different feelings and
I
thoughts
knew that
on
you
this.
would.
And I feel like people are not really necessarily going to like what I have to say, but
That's okay.
I understand why they brought Bob Iger back, but I feel almost like it's a little bit backward step.
Mhm.
But I understand why, because honestly, with Disney being such a massive corporation and multi-billion dollar corporation, you got to have somebody who knows how to run it. And so
Right.
with this quick of a change, so I understand that. And I honestly, while I was not a fan of Chapek,
Mhm.
I kind of feel like he was the scapegoat in a lot of ways.
That's true.
Because when he was president of the parks, anytime something bad would happen or whatever, it was always his fault.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Josh D'Amaro does something that people don't agree with, they blame Chapek.
You're exactly right. Mhm.
So I kind of feel, and I don't even know if Bob Iger set Chapek up for success.
Mhm.
Obviously, I don't know these people personally, so Chapek just could be, his personality could just not have been good to be CEO.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know, I just don't know. But, you know, Iger held on for so long before he left the company, and he kept extending his contract and extending his contract. So either A, there really wasn't confidence in Chapek before they even started. And so that's
Right.
why they kept extending the contract. So if they didn't have confidence in him and had to extend Iger's contract, why not find somebody that you had the confidence that could quickly hand over from Iger, you
Mhm.
know? So I just,
Yeah.
there's just a lot of things in my mind going on that
Yeah.
I just feel like that Disney needs to get it together and figure out how to move forward, because I feel like we're going backwards. And I
Mhm.
know that Iger brought Disney Plus, which is part of the huge problem that Disney is having right now. So I
Right.
know that that's probably another reason to bring him on board, is to get the media portion. And I think for our
Mhm.
viewers, they have to understand that the theme parks is just a very tiny part
He's little.
of the Disney Corporation.
Mhm.
And so you're talking lots of media and other
Mhm.
things into the Disney Corporation. So Iger is not a theme park guy per se. He is
Right.
much more a media person. If you remember, he was like the sports guy, you know,
Right.
a journalist, and then, you know, was brought on
Mhm.
by Disney. So theme park is just a very, very tiny portion when it comes to Disney.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I just feel like Disney needs to get it together and figure out how to move forward and to have a more positive face to the public,
Yeah.
because I feel like they don't have that right now.
I'm wondering if it was I keep feeling like it was an emotional decision. Not
Mhm.
that the people who decided it were emotional, but that they were doing it to promote emotionally good feelings in others. And I know Chapek, I agree with you. He was thrown under the bus for everything.
Mhm.
It's like whenever a new president takes office and they blame him for the results of a war that happened before he take office. I'm literally thinking of no one. I want y'all to know that, but I just feel like every president inherits problems from the last president.
Right.
And sometimes we just have to realize, that this may be something that was started 10 years ago. It's just D-Day is that day. And I feel like Bob Chapek became the scapegoat, and he wasn't good at making people feel warm and fuzzy on either side of the political spectrum.
Right.
And that's just, and that I feel like that turned people against him. And I remember I was looking at posts, friends of mine that are cast members, that said that the feeling was just incredible on site at Walt Disney World on Disney Cruise when this announcement came at the 11th hour of Sunday night, and they were just so elated. And I feel like they wanted that back. They wanted that back, and so that's what they did, is they put Iger back in that position.
Yeah, I feel like his statement in the last couple of weeks, where he talked about the hiring freeze and that they were going to lay
Mhm.
off people.
Yeah.
I mean, Disney cast members get beat up. I mean, they really do.
Yes.
They get beat up physically and emotionally, and
Just the
so
nature of
I
their
think
job. Mhm.
having your CEO say that is very difficult when you're already understaffed. You're
Mhm.
working super long hours. You're trying to make magic for guests, and all guests are doing is complaining about,
Mhm.
this,
Yeah.
that, or the other. So, I think it was just a big hit on the cast members, and I agree with what you're saying, Carol Beth. I think that it was an emotional response. Here we have our CEO saying to the public, we're having a hiring freeze and we're letting people go. And Disney's already kind of not been
Mhm.
great in the public eye in the past few
Mhm.
months. He just wasn't a great
Politician.
communicator.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that really hurt him. He could have been making great decisions in the
Yeah.
back,
Who
but we
knows?
don't know that, because what's
Mhm.
communicated up at the front was awful,
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I still think he was a scapegoat,
Mhm.
and that's just my
Yeah.
opinion. So we'll see what happens in the future.
I think it'll be very interesting to see how it trickles down. But I will say, and I think that just because there's no way people would know unless they've been involved in the industry for a while, it's not going to be quick. There's not going to be any changes that, I mean, we're talking years before people are going to feel the effects and the changes and the difference. Because even before Disney considers a change, and then they do market research on a change, and then they talk about the change, then they make a plan for the change, and then they do more market research. And it's just, I mean, it's just the way it's done. And
Right.
it doesn't matter who's leading, it is remarkably slow and remarkably methodical. And then when they do finish the product and it's done and it's put out there, they can also take it off the table. That's why we see things get announced. And if they see the tide turning, they will remove them. They won't do it anymore. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing most of the time. But if you're looking for instant relief, I think maybe people feeling more safe in their jobs, I hope that that's what happens, like what you're talking about, Wendy. Because wow, we saw it in COVID. There was a change in the spirit of every place that we traveled that was related to Disney. And I think it was just that insecurity in their jobs. Am I going to have a job? And we saw it all over the world, really. But it
Right.
was definitely heightened at Disney for a while because they felt insecure. And so I'll be super excited to see the cast members feeling better about where they are, making magic for other people. I hope that that's the result.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that people have to realize, people want the dining plan back. Oh, I get that.
Yeah.
I so get that. But
Mhm.
when you are still understaffed, you still don't have all the restaurants open.
Right.
You cannot bring back the dining plan.
Mm-mm.
Getting a dining reservation is so difficult right now.
Yeah.
I can't even fathom the dining plan coming back.
Right. It
But,
wouldn't be smart.
but
And
the
they've
thing is,
changed the cancellation policy for reservations to make it
Mhm.
even worse to try to get a reservation. Everything you have to get something last minute at this point if you're going to get something good.
Mhm. That's true.
yeah. And I feel like Disney really needs to listen to their guests. In some
Mhm.
ways they have. So I'm not
Absolutely.
saying that they don't, but in some ways they definitely have. But I think that they need to listen to guests. And I think that if they brought back more cast members, which I get that this is a personnel
It's a
financial situation,
money making.
their outlook to other people would be much better because the cast members
Mhm.
are the people who bring the magic,
Right.
and
Every day.
they won't be so overworked and overwhelmed if they had it more people to spread out.
Agreed.
And so that's my opinion on it.
Well, hopefully
Agreed.
that tide will turn. And I will say, if you talk to an individual cast member, and we talk about Disney like an ethereal thing that's up in the sky. Disney needs to do this, Disney needs to do that. And I definitely, I think we're on the same page. They need to do the things that support the people that work for them, because those are the people who make magic happen for me and you and every client that we send. I mean, that's what made us fall in love with Disney Travel, was because of those cast members that made an
Right.
incredible experience for us. So we're all on the same page with that. And I can't imagine anyone listening who'd go, no, I want mistreatment and less cast members. So yeah, we want
Right.
good treatment. And so hopefully that's the cycle that we're leading to. But I don't know. It's very interesting, the whole Bob Iger, Chapek, Josh D'Amaro. I feel like we may finally get to know who Josh D'Amaro really is. If he stopped, if there isn't always a scapegoat, which it could not be Josh D'Amaro's fault at all. I'm not saying that, but it's just when all bad things get piled in one corner, it's
Right.
hard to tell what's really going on. So we'll see what happens next. Oh my goodness. Well, and we'll see if I get a call from anybody about this conversation.
Good luck.
Yep. It's okay. It's okay. No, it's we started, all three of us started largely out of our love for Walt Disney Travel Company and everything
That's
they
where it
do.
started for me. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like there's few things that compare to what the Disney experience does for people in their lifetime. So
Mhm.
I think our passion comes out of wanting to see that gift not be tarnished or
Mhm.
lost.
I
Absolutely.
Yeah.
want other people to experience that
Mhm.
love and that it just
Yeah.
pulls you in and it's just changed and I can't wait to see what's next, to
Yeah.
see what Iger DeMarco, what's going to happen next.
Yes.
And I will be excited when
Don't
y'all
wait,
go on the
though.
Wish. That I will say the Disney Wish is an incredible experience. I want to see y'all experience
Mhm.
that and see because it's a new creativity. Like when did we get all excited about The Mandalorian when it came to Disney Plus because it was new creativity. It was funny and good and exciting and it pulled us all in. And so we still have those magical moments. I for one am ready for more of them.
Right.
This is where I'm at.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. And I agree. The Wishes, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It really is. So
Yes.
I'm just
Yeah.
all about let's get that magic back. And it's not that it's lost or gone.
No.
It's just it's not as prevalent as it
Yes.
once was.
It's a
Right.
little bit harder to see and to feel in the midst.
You still with us, Sandy? So I was going to ask you, Wendy, before we wrap up. So I know we've talked quite a bit, I feel like, in bits and pieces about your Wish sailing, but did you feel like the cast member interaction was comparable to what you experienced in the past?
Oh, yes.
Oh, good.
Yes. I feel
I
like
did.
cast members on cruises are in a much better place than
Mhm.
the ones
Yeah.
in the parks.
Mhm.
And so it's great. And plus they're mostly from other countries and they're just so excited
I know.
to be where they are. And so it's just a great experience to get to talk to the cast members and
Well, good. I felt that way too, but mine was a shakedown cruise, a pre-cruise. So, or no, it wasn't. It was an actual cruise. There were just a lot of industry people on there. I can't remember. But anyway, it didn't feel like a normal cruise. And so I always wonder once you get into the normal cruises but I felt the same way that they were excited to be there. So that's good. Sandy, are you completely unable to say anything?
I think I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yay! Okay.
Yeah. So I should show everybody. Look, I told you I was traveling. I'm in my cousin's teenage son's room to try
Sure.
to find a little quiet because internet and cell service in these mountains are not great either. So my little setup is really funny, and I knocked my my microphone off and the cord out. That's what happens. This is what
Right.
happens when you travel,
Yeah.
y'all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not all hooked up. Well,
Yep.
thank y'all for popping in the day before Thanksgiving or your first Thanksgiving, Sandy.
Yep. Thanksgiving day 1.
Yes. Yep. So, Wendy, if you want to wrap us up, we'll get out of here and go bake something.
all right. From the 3D Travelcast, this is Wendy Armstrong.
I'm Sandy Barnes.
And I'm Carol Beth Scott. Until next time.
Until next time.